Hello and welcome once again to Newsmo, where I give my daily take on one of the top stories of the day. Today I'm going to look at what has become the big story within the BJP. Now that doesn't happen too often in the age of Modi Shah because the news is usually centered around the BJP's top two. But today the BJP has reshuffled its parliamentary board, thereby signaling what its priorities are and who its current leadership axis is. And these are my major takeaways from this reshuffle in the BJP's top body, decision-making body. Number one, Nitin Gadkari's ouster. That's a big story. The former BJP president and union minister is out, and that suggests that over the last few years, Nitin Gadkari, who's lost several of his ministerial portfolios, is slowly being marginalized. The second one, of course, is the more obvious one, that Modi Shah called the shots. Let's be honest, this is the top two of the BJP. There is no real collective leadership. There's the leadership of number one and number two. They are the most dominant Jodi, or Jodi number one as I call them at the moment in Indian politics. In the Advani-Vajpayee era, the BJP had a more collective style, a more consensual style. Now you've got the domination of these two leaders from Gujarat. Number three, and this is linked to Mr. Gadkari having to be being eased out, the RSS doesn't really call the shots. So the RSS is looking at perhaps new blue-eyed boys like Devendra Fadnavis, who's been elevated to the election board of the party, possible compensation for being only Deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra. But in a way, it suggests that the RSS itself does not determine who gets onto the parliamentary board. That decision is taken by Mr. Modi and Shah, and the RSS's influence may to some extent be waning. Takeaway number four, the BJP needs Yediyurappa to win a Karnataka. Here is someone who's defied the Margdarshak age limit almost of 75 years. I think he's 78 or 79. And it's clear that as the Karnataka elections approach, and a tough election for the BJP, B.S. Yediyurappa is their tallest leader. So in a way, by elevating him, they are hoping that he will fully participate in the Karnataka elections. And takeaway number five is an interesting one, I guess. Yogi Adityanath is not in the BJP parliamentary board. Now, most of our recent surveys, including the Mood of the Nation, suggest that he is the most popular leader in the BJP outside of Narendra Modi. He is the mascot in a way in several parts, invited to different states to deliver speeches, is the chief minister of the country's most populous state. So why is he not on the BJP's parliamentary board? And I can only go back to Mr. Modi himself. Between 2007 and 13, Mr. Modi too was seen as the BJP's rising star, chief minister of Gujarat, but was not on the parliamentary board of the party. Then it was alleged he was being kept out in a way by those who felt threatened by his presence. I wonder whether the same applies to Yogi Adityanath. Well, these are some of my takeaways at the moment. That's how politics works. It's a game of chess. One day you're up, one day you're down. Or is it snakes and ladders rather than chess? Think about it. You've been watching Newsmo.
For more informative videos like this, keep watching India Today Newsmo.